but I really want to join. I'm still tempted to join one of them old man leagues, man. You know what I'm saying? And just see what I got.
You should do it. You should do it. Hey, all I would say is get on a bike, get on an elliptical machine, just get your wind back right. Get your wind back right.
Test that bike ain't gonna do me like the same though, man.
It ain't. Hey, look. No,
it's a different type of endurance.
Yeah, I gotta run up and down that court.
That's the only way I'm gonna get it.
But you gotta get some kind of wind back. That's all I'm saying. You get some kind of wind back. Because like even this, like I remember like it's like maybe like 7 years ago. Chassie was getting back out on the. She was getting on the court. She was playing high school ball. So I was like, I'm gonna run some games with. It's like maybe 35, 33. I was like 33. All right, we're gonna run some games. And at this time, I'm a runner. I'm a runner. You know what I mean? 10 miles is nothing to me. 5 miles, easy, light, half marathon. Let's go. Got on the court to run with her up and down the court. Gas within like the first 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So that court endurance is different from any other type of endurance.
Yeah.
So that court win is different.
It is, man. It is. And maybe that's what I need to do is go out there and embarrass myself so I can get it out of my system. Because I think that's how it works, man. Everybody, man, when you got a little bit of competitive nature in you, you got to go out on an L. You know what I'm saying? It's the only way that you really feel like, all right, it's over. That's why you see so many boxers get knocked out before they
gotta get that last run. Be like, you know what? Nah, it's over. It's over.
It's over. Somebody got to prove to you it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Floyd, keep fighting. Floyd ain't gonna be done until somebody knock his behind out. Then he gonna be like, all right, cool. I finally got knocked out. It's out my system now.
It's out my system. It ain't worth it. I'm gonna just go ahead and sit down.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna have to go out here in this league, man, and I'm gonna have to eventually sign up for the 40 and up league, man, to get this out my system, man. Like,
and look,
I feel like I can still do it a little bit.
Running games until he was 60. Till he was 60.
But see, I've been retired for years. About 18 years, I've been retired. Like, you know what I'm saying? So.
Hey, man, go ahead. Hey, get to that 40 and up.
At the playground ain't the same as an active game. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been in-game balling in years. Like, so over a decade.
Since I had that bug, man. Because here's the thing. When your boys get older, you still got to be a little bit ready. A little bit ready.
Yeah. You know, because he see me in training scenarios. My son, my oldest son, you know, he learning basketball now. He see me in training scenarios, so he think I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I do have it in training scenarios. You know, 2 dribbles and a pull up. You know what I'm saying? And I can hit a little pull up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but running in transition.
I can't let him come out and watch me on my first game back. You know, he gonna have to stay at home because I don't need him to see. Ops was winded on his second time up the court.
Sucking wind.
Right. Then I gotta explain to him these cigars did it to me.
Nah, it ain't even the cigars, man. It ain't even the cigars. It's just old age.
I know. I gotta blame it on something, though, bro.
Okay, you gotta put it on something.
I gotta put it on something, man. All these boxers that go get knocked out, they don't blame it on that. They say somebody cheated them or something. Like, I watched Bernard knocked out the ring, and he was like, you know, he pushed me out the ring. Nah, he hit you with a left hook, and you flew over the top.
When it comes to that competitive nature, and then realizing that you are a mere mortal, that hits hard. That hits the system hard. Like to really realize, because you've gone so many years of your life competing at a high level or competing at some level, especially for those who did compete at a high level, to come down to a point to say, I'm a mere mortal. It's you know what I'm saying? Like I can be touched. You know what I'm saying? It breaks them though. They need it, but it breaks them.
Hey, look, breaks them. We watch some of the greatest athletes make comebacks. Ali made a comeback, tried it again. Foreman. We watched Foreman do a comeback, and he made it work. We watched Magic Johnson came back in '96, gave it another little try. Mike came back. I mean, after multiple times. MJ said some stuff, man. I don't know if you knew this, but MJ said his biggest regret is is what they did with the Bulls because he wanted somebody to knock him off. He said he felt cheated. He felt cheated because that's the way the game is. Somebody was supposed to take me out, and he felt like he didn't get taken out while he was on top, and he regrets that the Bulls organization didn't give him a chance to compete until he was defeated. He wanted to be beat.
You know what? But you know what? That plays in his favor for his legacy, though.
It did, but he don't like it. We all
like
make that argument
because he's competitive. Because he's competitive.
Yeah, he said I was supposed to play until I get beat. I'm supposed to get beat.
Till somebody knocks me off, till somebody proves to me that I am no longer the best or my team isn't the best. But there's no proof of it now. He's robbed that part of the story. But it's a heck of a story to go out on, though.
His fans go out on
he
top.
Hates it. Well, I mean, of course, he came back, but for that whole thing to dissolve at the peak. There's not too many teams in the history of sports that dissolves at the peak. You all see them come down and players break off, and there's always that one star player that still sticks around, or maybe that star player leaves, and then the core is still there, and they try to bring in another star, and it just doesn't work out, and then it slowly fizzles out. That was at the peak, and then just poof, all into the just vapors. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the mystique with the Bulls, that those 90s Bulls, that makes the story just that much greater. So I get Jordan, of course, he's the competitor. So it's like, nah, somebody got to take me out. I'm on top until I'm not.
Yeah.
But the mystique of that, man.
What you said is how the fans view it. And I was shocked that that's how he felt. He felt the opposite. He felt deprived. He felt deprived of going out on his shield. As a warrior wants to go in most cases.
Yeah.
Don't throw the towel in. Let him take me out. Yeah. If he can take me out, let him take me out.
That's the ultimate competitor right there. Ultimate competitor. Got it. That's why he's my GOAT. That's why he's my GOAT. I'm pretty sure Bron can write the story. It would be him going on top.
He would have left out on top.
I went it that way. But
he's still here because he gave up on that. Like I'm just every other record through longevity. Like
longevity is gonna be my way out, and also bringing my son in.
Yeah,
preseason games have started. Bronny's on the court.
Hey man, Bronny is also giving me confidence that I can play at a higher level because he don't belong there. You know what I'm saying? But
man,
he don't belong there. Now I'll say this though.
He looks out of place. Completely out of place.
So I don't know if it's nerves because he can shoot in practice. He's not able to shoot in the game for some reason. So I don't know if it's nerves, but he looks very confused and lost out there in a lot of circumstances. But I see the potential in the kid to be able to eventually play at that level as long as he keeps practicing at that level. The only thing is the average player don't get that benefit to continue to let iron sharpen iron. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I got to play in the NBA for a year, I'd probably eventually adapt. Everybody would if you let them play at a high level. You know what I'm saying? And practice with these guys, and you would eventually start to adapt. And I say and that's a gross exaggeration. But you get what I'm saying. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody that's close to that range then gets to practice with those guys and play at that level, they will eventually swim. If given,
you would hope. You would hope.
I would think most players is in contention to make it to that point. With we all adjust. You know what I'm saying? Everybody adjusts. If you're good at something and then you start playing with people that's better at it, you suck for a long time and eventually you start figuring it out. Like, you know, but Master P in the 90s did better than LeBron Jr. is doing, James Jr. is doing, and Bronny gets to go, and Master P got kicked out after his 10 days was up.
Yeah, he didn't even get the opportunity to allow his skill set to grow. I've heard someone explain the whole masterpiece situation, and he just said he just wasn't skilled enough. But
he played better in the game than Bronny did.
He played better than Bronny, and he played better than some number one draft picks. You know what I mean? In the history of the league, it's better than some top 10, top 5 draft picks. But here's the thing I got to say about Bronny though. That I know, when he first came in, his whole thing was, I want to make my own name and I want to earn it. and it's whatever. I'm going to earn it. And allow that adaptation to happen eventually through time. But how much time do you think Bronny's going to give it before he gives up and be like, you know what? I don't have to do this. I wanted to when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Those young aspirations. But then you get to a point, you know what I'm saying? He'll be mid-20s and be like, why am I still trying to do this? I'm filthy rich. Why? My dad's LeBron. I'm filthy rich. Whatever. I got to.
You know
what fight do I need to have?
What's scary about that assessment is his dad got quit in him, so I could easily see it. His dad got quit in him. His dad got quit in him.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Why would I not believe the Silver Spoon kid got some quit in him?
Got some quit in him. Ooh. Well, you didn't say to what degree, the degree of quit he got him. You just said you said he got some quit in him. And I have to agree. He got some quit in him. I'm just saying.
He got some quit in him. Because I watched him quit. You can get mad at it. We all watched him quit. Like, it's not even I'm not even saying nothing controversial. I watched him quit probably 2 or 3 times. Like,
I'm just saying, you can't say that about the GOAT, man. People gonna come for you.
Man, forget that, man. I watched him quit. I watched him walk off the court and take his jersey off early before the end of the
I watched him get carried off the court because of cramps.
Yeah, I watched that. I watched that. I watched that happen while I watched Kobe finger fall out the whole socket and get put back in, and then go back and finish
or play with an Achilles tear.
Yeah. Just right off the back, just still hooping. So I don't know, man.
Anyway, but hey, look, man. I apologize for how we started the show. I wanted to get right to it. I'm like, hey, look, this opportunity. We in.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, this week, man, I'm going to be smoking on Arturo Fuente. Arturo Fuente. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I got the Chateau Fuente King. I got the King version of the Chateau Fuente.
I was reading the caption when we first started, and I was like, ooh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
For one, it's Fuente, but then they got Chateau Fuente King. So it's like
the Chateau part got me, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay,
Chateau. You know what I'm saying? And we've stayed at the Chateau before in Vegas.
Yeah, you know.
Matter of fact,
in Atlanta, you know.
Fun fact.
What's up?
Our cover, the picture of us on the rooftop smoking a cigar. Yeah. It's at the top of the Chateau.
It is, ain't it? I forgot about that.
Rooftop of the Chateau.
That's some history for you, man. That's some history for you. Anyway, this thing right here is Dominican through and through also, man. I guess I might as well get those specs on it. So far, it's a very mild, light cigar. Nice. From what I'm picking up on. And
you know, and that's Fuente light. That's Fuente light. So I'm smoking the Agnorsa signature Maduro.
Cool. I like Agnorsa.
I spelled it wrong in the caption, so forgive me. It's the Agnorsa leaf signature Maduro. Nice and brown. Beautiful brown complexion. I like it. It's usually the complexion that I lean towards. So it caught my eye in the humidor. The box that it was in, this nice white box with this gold trim, and then it had this silver lining on the wrapper itself. So it's packaged and delivered very well. Like it stood out amongst the cigars on the shelf next to it. So it was definitely a draw. So it was like when I saw it, I'm like, okay. I've gone down the path of Agnorsa before, but this one just had to stand out for me. And then also the complexion of it was just right. It was a beautiful brown baby sitting right next to all the other cigars. So I was like, yeah, let me get that Maduro leaf. So I want to give it a shot. So we're going to see what it does. A little bit about the specs. It looks like it's Nicaraguan through and through. Talking about wrapper, origin, filler and binder, all Nicaraguan. So you're in the DR with yours. I'm in Nicaragua with mine.
There you go, man. I ain't mad at it. Nicaragua. Hey, man. Before we got on, I know we was talking about me joining the old man league to play basketball, but man, you asked me about something prior to that, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of touched on the fact that oh yeah, you asked me if I had anything I wanted to discuss on the show today. And I'm like, not really, man. What's going on in the world? And you was like, I was like, hey, I kind of like the fact that I don't know what's going on in the world. And you was like, hold on that for a second, man. We'll speak on that. So I just wanted to kind of double back to that conversation. I feel less stress not knowing what's going on in the world. I don't see how people just constantly checking for what's going on in the news and stuff. Like hurricanes be coming up. I don't be knowing they about to happen. Somebody else got to tell me. I just be out the loop. And I appreciate the freedom. It sounds very irresponsible, but I'm adulting at a different level than adults did in the past. I don't want to be watching the news all day, man. It's depressing. I don't want to hear about how many black people got shot yesterday in the world and
in Chicago or wherever.
Chicago, this many, the gang wars is doing this and that. I don't care, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I care, but I don't want to. I'm at a stage in life, man. If it don't affect my day-to-day life,
what good does that? Not saying this sounds irresponsible. With you in a sense, like it's led me to just to agree, because I'm so focused on my day-to-day that if it does not shift my day-to-day, I don't have time to focus on it. I don't have time to pay attention to it. It's like, okay, like I gotta get to work. I gotta make sure these kids are good. I gotta make sure the house is straight. I gotta make sure that I'm on top of making sure I'm performing my job to the best of my ability. I'm physically fit, physically consumed with all of those things, that what's going on the other side of the country, if it's not a waveform effect that's going to affect me here in Texas, then what good does it do me? The most news I pay attention to is what's the new construction going on down the street, because that affects my day-to-day. It might affect my commute, or I might have some new amenities available to me. So that means more to me than whatever the new hot news is, around the country or around the world. Because what benefit or detriment does it truly have to me? Which also, to me, plays into this whole presidential thing. I don't know if you want to go into that whole spill again, but I'm not as invested in it, because it's like, what is the true effect on my day-to-day? I have to worry about the right now and to worry about the making it from moment to moment, that I'm not even trying to unplug. It's just I'm not even tuned into it to even really know what's going on. Like I might get peeks and things here and there, and get most of my news from social media. Oh, look! Oh, this is going on. Okay, and then I keep scrolling. That's it. That's it,
man. And think about it, man. Like this might be a hopeless point of view, but I don't think the majority of it I can influence anyway or have any control over. So it's just like, things are going to play out how things play out in the world. The only thing I can control are the things I can control. And that's how I make the world a better place, by controlling the things I have power over.
Control the temperament in my household.
Yeah.
Control the temperament in my household, because if my kids are seeing the news and they're confused about what's going on, the best thing I can do is just explain about life. So I'm controlling the temperament. Anything outside of my four walls, I don't really have much control over, but I can control the temperament of these young minds that I'm raising. You know what I'm saying? And that's my whole role that I play with when it comes to anything that is part of the news. Is controlling the temperament of what's going on in my four walls.
That's me, man. That's how I make the world a better place. That's what I can do for the world, is be the best version of myself and try to help those around me be the best version of themselves. Man, that's my contribution, man. I don't get to make laws. I don't get to decide if the gangs are gonna gang today. You know what I'm saying? Or if the politicians are gonna do this. You can vote for them, but I don't have no belief in that structure. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're gonna go to war, they're gonna go to war.
You ain't gonna stop it.
You gonna stop it.
Captain America,
I walk around with my pick and my sign,
march, signing picket and marching and singing songs and chants and whatnot. Like, I get it. And here's the thing: like, I might not feel this way forever. I didn't feel this way 10 years ago, right? Right. You know me back in college. I was about as militant as they come. You know what I'm saying? As far as like how I would have, I thought I was going to be the next Cornel West in life. You know what I mean? Yeah. I thought that was my path. Like, yo, we're going to change some things. But it's like 20 years later, I'm like, only thing I can do is the next person that I touch and can communicate with directly, and then even share my point of view. And then we even talked about this. I think we talked about this at length after the show too, about a couple weeks ago. Is that I don't say much anymore for that fact, because like, what is my voice even got to? What is my voice going to say? And trying to break away from that, it's like as far as opening up and talking to people more and having more conversations, because maybe I might say something that can shift. But even then, I'll dial it back and quiet up, because it's like, why even say anything? Was it going to really shift? What benefit is it going to do? Even if I open my mouth to speak on something, so I keep my thoughts to myself and trying to get away from that. But I do understand that if I can directly affect the person that I'm communicating with, or I'm side by side or encounter on a day-to-day basis, then maybe that could be the trickle-down effect. Other than that, I ain't got no influence.
Well, and this is the other thing with taking your time to advise people. In most cases, the times you're trying to do that, you have the least amount of influence. The most impact I've had getting through to people is when I wasn't even trying to. Like somebody hit me up a year later and be like, you said this to me, and that moment stuck with me. And I'd be like, man, I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it was not an actual moment in the conversation where I was trying to get an understanding across to them. It was a throwaway line for me, but it struck. And sometimes I say that to say sometimes it is just a waste of time trying to give people advice. People,
Like I'm gonna try to be gung ho. And honestly, if somebody senses that you're trying to be gung ho about something that I'm trying to force feed, they'll resist it anyway.
Yeah,
they'll resist it anyway. Just off of human nature. Yeah, just off of human nature. You could be completely right and on base with everything you're saying, but if they get the gist that you're trying to force feed them something, they're going to reject it. So the best thing is to be passive in your communication. Maybe just in conversation, I'm just speaking on how I feel about something, and it might resonate with somebody who's not even a part of the conversation. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that'll, you know what I'm saying? So the best way that I influence is just to be me and just have my normal conversation with a normal individual, just go about my life trying to present myself in the best way I can and just be. And hopefully if somebody, it'll radiate to somebody and they'll see that and grasp onto it. Like I remember this was like maybe 6 years ago. I was on the phone with somebody handling some business. I was at a clinic. And one of the soldiers that was at the clinic, he was just listening to my conversation, and just how I handled the conversation and my interaction. When I got off the phone, his approach to me was like, I don't know who you were talking to or what you were doing, but like, I like what you did there. Like it had an impact on him, right? And he complimented me, and he said, I need to try to figure out how can I get what you just did? Like whatever that was. Like, I can't even remember the conversation or what business I was handling, but it was my approach. And the fact that it was just something that was passive that somebody paid attention to, they latched on to it. So that's the best way I can go about being influenced and just being. And people are observant, especially when you are not trying to force anything on them. People are, okay, what is, you know, and now they're watching you. And then now they might take some things from what you did because, I see that work. Or I like how his approach is. Oh, his mental state, he has a certain kind of peace about him. Right. Why is he so at peace? Because he's not involved in so many crazy things that's going on in the world, like you talked about with being so engulfed in the news and no, I gotta go this. People they'll run away from that. They'll run away from that so fast. Now there's a time and place for everything, of course. There's a time and place for it, but on an everyday basis, sometimes it's good to just dial back and just be, and people will see that and want to be a part of it and figure out how they can get in line to what it is that you're doing, especially if they see that that's working for you as an individual or for your circle or for your household. You know what I mean?
I agree with it, man. Because in reality, forcing anything never works. So especially forcing your opinion don't work on people. But you can't. Forcing don't work in no situation, man. Everything's got to be a natural flow, man. Like or else it's gonna backfire on you. And especially when people are going through hardships or what they deem to be a hardship, they really a lot of time people just want to vent. People don't want to be told what to do. They want to stew in those feelings and vent.
Don't want the solution. Yeah. Don't give me the solution. Just hear me out.
Just hear me out. Let me complain about it and then call 10 other people and give them the same complaint. Like, and you got to let people do what they do. You know what I'm saying? In most cases, man.
Yeah. And a lot of times if they're giving that information, sometimes they'll figure it out while they're speaking. Like that light bulb will go off. So sometimes you just got to let them get it out. And while they're hearing themselves speak, they might find the solution in the conversation.
Yeah. My sister-in-law is a therapist, and that's what she said their training is. They're not really supposed to give you the answer as much as they're supposed to guide you towards having your own epiphany. To it. Yeah. Nice. So even if in the first session they know exactly what it is that they need to do to get you to fix it, they realize the psychology behind people is they won't change until they figure it out on their own. Yeah. So I can give you the answer day one, but you ain't gonna change until you get the answer in your head and make sense of it.
Because here's the thing, and I find myself doing that sometimes too. I'm pretty sure this is a lot of people. Sometimes we'll be told what we need to do, and we think it's the worst idea in the world.
Yeah.
Somebody told us 5 months ago, but once we finally hear it in our head and we think it's all right, that our buy-in is more, and then we do that exact same thing that somebody told. Like, I don't know if you've ever told somebody to do something and then they do it 5 months later, 6 months later, like, oh, I should be doing it. So like, didn't I tell you that?
Yeah.
A year ago?
Yeah.
Now you're finally coming to this conclusion, but they came to it on their own eventually, even though they might have planted the seed in the back of their head, but they believe it's their own idea. Now it's the greatest thing in the world. Let me go do that thing. I figured it out. So it's just the fact that sometimes, like when you lead somebody to that conclusion, that epiphany, they're more apt to do the thing that they know they need to do. But tell them that exact same thing, they're more likely to resist it.
Yeah, and when I kind of started understanding that, it made me a lot more reluctant to give people advice because I feel like I'm wasting my time now. So I just I try to let them talk. If they keep needling, asking me for my opinion, I'll give it to them.
You finally give it to them. Yeah.
I prefer not to waste my time because I know even once they ask me, I'm still wasting my time telling you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it feels totally useless, but you know.
And I'm not like that all the time. Like it's moment by moment basis. Sometimes I will feel like, okay, I think I need to tell somebody something, and just to say it, just to put it out there, and then maybe they'll find their way back to it. I don't expect if I tell somebody something or give somebody some advice that they're gonna take it and follow it right away. But it's like you got to plant that seed. Yeah. So sometimes like I'll say, you know what, this is the time to speak. They're not gonna listen to me. They're not gonna hear me. They might not hear me out. But as long as I get this out, I'm at least planting the seed, and maybe it'll grow in them months later. They'll find it.
Yeah.
And then once they find it on their own, they'll have more buy-in, and they're more apt to do what you're mentioning.
Yeah. That's probably the best way to go about it. You know what I'm saying? Just plant the seed for them, back out. And whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Because at the end of the day, we all got our own journey. We all got our own paths, and there's multiple ways and multiple routes to get to an end goal.
I'm hard-headed too. I'm hard-headed too.
Yeah. But experience is the best teacher. So, you know, we all need to go through it. Hey man, what's your thoughts on that stick you got?
Pretty nice. Pretty nice. One of the better aromas that I've had in the last few episodes that we've done. The aroma is nice. It's like this rich cocoa aroma that's kind of with the undertone of some oak and cocoa. Like it's this intertwining that's going on right now. No spice on it, even though my profile meter was not all the way at the tail end, but close that last tick mark to the tail end for that flavor profile. But not much spice, no spice at all. Rich oak and cocoa is pretty much what I'm getting off the rip, as well as in the atmosphere for my aroma, and it's nice. It's a nice, chill, calm smoke right now.
Man,
Maduro style, of course. Maduro style.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. Good. I like to hear other companies doing good things, man. Like an Agnorsa, you know, hear good stuff from them, man. Make sure that it ain't just the top names that's out here with good selections. It's some of these ones that fall like a tier beneath that got good selections also.
Oh, are we saying Agnorsa is a tier beneath?
I would.
It is what it is.
In terms of popularity. Yeah. Popular brand though, But not Fuente, nothing like that.
Not Fuente.
Speaking of Fuente,
so what you at with yours?
Man, as you can see, this is a long stick. I don't know if you really can grasp how long this is. It's a long stick. Next to my head, it's a long stick. I'm not gonna get out the first third of this particular cigar, this show. I already know this. And you know what else hurt me? I sent you. I was smoking Placencia this morning. Yeah. That has nothing to do with the fact how I judge this stick, but my urge to have this stick right now is come down.
It drops. It's something,
man.
and I hate to keep doing this and talk about Placencia, but it is something about it. Like once you smoke it and you go away from it, it's something about it that calls you back. That just makes other smokes lackluster. It does. I had that when we had that Alma Fuerte not too long ago. I lit up a Camacho because I wanted something. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to start a cigar fresh because it's something about that cigar journey. Instead of picking up in the middle of a cigar, like, you know what? I want to smoke a fresh cigar, which leads me to mentioning something about what I sent you the other day, where I had my cigar ashtray with 3 cigars lit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm out of control, man. But it's just that urge, like, I want a fresh cigar today instead of trying to finish the cigar from earlier today or yesterday or something like that. So I'm sitting here with 3 unfinished cigars sitting just in rotation pretty much. But that Camacho was a really good Camacho and I loved it. But it's the fact that it just came off that Alma Fuerte that made me want to go back to it, that I really couldn't settle in and enjoy that one for what it was.
Yeah.
Like you have to remove yourself days and weeks beyond that Placencia to get back to really enjoying these other sticks that you still like.
You know what though? It wasn't even that, because this is a very enjoyable stick so far. It's mild to medium. It's a light cigar, and especially in this type of wrapper, you don't usually see these ones come through as mild all the time. But it's not even that. That Placencia was so good, I feel fulfilled. Like I don't need
I don't need nothing else.
I technically don't need this cigar right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel
you just taking an extra lap right now. You just on an extra lap.
I'm on an extra lap. This is gluttony right now. I had a good cigar this morning. I feel fulfilled.
I've been fulfilled.
Another one. I've never said that on this show, so I'm saying it now. Not to say I wouldn't want it later on in the day, but the timing, we're about, I don't know, maybe 3 hours. I smoked it about 3 hours ago. I still don't. I'm cool still, But this thing, I'll say this is what I am experiencing now. It has a some cedar notes, something that comes through almost like a licorice type note paired with that cedar, and a good aroma on it. A pretty solid draw on it, and I would say the construction feels pretty good so far. Also,
nice.
This one's gonna be one I'll be smoking for a while though, man. How you said you had yours laying around in the ashtray. I'm gonna have to clip this one, put it away, and I'm gonna have to probably come back to this one about 4 days before I finally finish this thing up, man. But
Out of control.
so far so good, man. This is
Yeah.
good morning, Stick.
Really? Okay.
Or even early afternoon, lunchtime, Stick. Lunchtime. I don't want to go morning. Let's go lunchtime. This is a good lunchtime, Stick.
Okay.
I like it so far though, man. I think I would have a very positive rating for it once we get to the end, but I'll be giving it the aficionado treatment today.
yeah, that's as far as you're going. All right,
Yeah.
let's keep journeying these cigars, see what happens to them, see where they go. Let's get them as far as we can get. But I want to talk about this though, man. So just yesterday, I think it was just yesterday. Yeah, it was a big reveal. Elon Musk. She did a what was like some kind of rollout. You know, they every now and then they do those presentations with the Cybertruck and stuff like that. I can't remember what they're called, but it's like a nice big rollout of the future. These inventions that they're working on, these this new technology that they're getting ready to put out into the world. And even though we might be a couple of years before it's going to actually be on the market and release and become these things, like even when Tesla first, before it even came out, they rolled out, they did the show, and then all of a sudden now we start seeing all these Teslas on the road and they're doing their thing. It's becoming the way of the world now. And then Tesla truck. I remember when Tesla truck came out, that's when I bought my first bit of stock in Tesla, when I saw the demo for the truck. And that was like maybe 4 years before they even released the truck. And now the trucks are here. And I remember seeing my first truck, like, oh, dang, the Tesla truck's on the road. Now I'm seeing a bunch of Tesla trucks. You know what I mean? Like you would only see them in special places. Now I'm seeing them all over the place. It's Tesla trucks. Like it's becoming a common thing, a common vehicle to see on the road now.
Right.
But now we're fast forwarding to yesterday, the rollout yesterday. We got the robo taxis. We got the robots. Yeah. We still got the quest for Mars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How are you feeling about Elon's inventions? These new rollouts of what we might be able to expect in the future, because like what we've seen before, it's come to pass, and now the future is here with these autonomous driving vehicles.
Yeah.
That I didn't see actually being a commonplace thing. Now they're on the road, commonplace. Tesla truck, commonplace. So guess what that tells me? If Elon's behind it, he's trying to make these things commonplace. Robo-taxi, in-home personal Rosie from the Jetsons.
Jetsons,
you know
Rosie.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Where are we going? Where we
We're
going?
going to the future, man. We're going to the future. And as anti as I can be with that sometimes, I look forward to it, man. It's exciting for me, but two different reasons it's exciting. One reason is because people suck and you ruined everything and you get what you deserve. So when these robots and these autonomous vehicles come replace all of you, you get what you deserve. Give me good service or else I don't support you. So it is what it is. Like, as long as y'all got awful customer service, so be it. Let the robots in the self-driving vehicles replace all of you, because y'all suck. Y'all deserve it.
So
yeah, that's one side of why I appreciate it. Second reason, because I want me a robot.
You want a robot? You gonna get you one?
I want a robot. Yeah, I watch iRobot, and hopefully that's not what happens. But if it does, you know, man, I had a good ride here, man. I'll let the robots get rid of me. You know what I'm saying? And YouTube, my legacy is here with these videos, the podcast, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But so anyway, with that being said, man, I want a robot, man. He said it's gonna be like 30 G's.
Yeah.
Let me get the robot, man, for hopefully that price will start coming down.
Coming down. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna roll out at 30K, but eventually it'll be 20, 18K.
The Tesla came down. You know what I'm saying? So the Tesla is a very affordable car now. Like, you know, maybe not the truck, but the car. And I want to get in before it's affordable, to be honest with you, because I want to go ahead and start this cleaning business. I want to get me like 3 or 4 robots and put them on the market before y'all can afford it. You know, and I'm just saying, bro. Like, I need me. It's the cost of a car. You know what I mean? So
I was gonna say that. It's like
might as well get me a little car. like
you go to
financing a
Tesla.
car.
You say, let me get one of those. Let me get one of those robots. Let me get the Model Y and one of those model robots too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the freedom it will provide me in my life, I look forward to it. I'm excited about the potential of what I can do to monetize this while giving myself some freedom in my life. And I put that on air for the rest of y'all. So hopefully one of y'all can be smart enough to think like I'm thinking. And that's arrogant of me to say smart enough, but I think it's pretty brilliant of me. And that's my intentions of moving forward. So it's gonna clean my house. It's gonna cook for me. It's gonna do whatever I need that I don't feel like doing around here. Like,
it's either you can get with technology or you can let it leave you behind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a lot of the technology that we have now, a lot of us didn't see coming. And if you were resistant to it, you'd be so far behind taking advantage of what is possible.
right.
So it's like, hey, let's go for the ride. Now, me, I am a little leery. I'm not as fast to go give me a robot. I might wait for a couple of models to drop and then be like, you know what? These robots are kind of cool. Let me go ahead and get one. But that first iteration, get the bugs, get the kinks out. You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry about that, man. Hey, look, this is what you do, man.
My robot ain't turning on me because y'all have had some rewiring to do or reprogramming, and then they get recalled.
Don't worry about that, bro. Hey, look, man.
I'm gonna wait for the recalls.
Now forget the recalls, man. Go right off the bat, man. You know what I'm saying? Because even if the recalls come out, we'll get paid. We'll get paid from that person with the class action rollout. We're gonna get paid for all our suffering. But look, this is what I want you to think about. Call back to the beginning of the episode. I said I still got some basketball in me, and I need to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Before I'm ready to quit. I know you still got some fight in you, man, and your robot will help you spar.
Programming. Yeah,
I got you thinking now.
Throw a punch.
Your robot gonna spar. Just scale the force back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because too many G forces is gonna knock you into another dimension.
We program it wrong. Hey, look, strength put it at about a 10. You know what I'm saying? Speed.
Bring it on down.
Mr. Gomez has to go ahead and slow that down.
Yeah. That'll help you get all that out your system, man. And when that robot knock you out, you'll be like, all right, I'm out the game. I'm done.
And I ain't got to embarrass myself in front of nobody. Just embarrass myself in front of the robot.
Yeah. And the robot, he's still going to listen to you afterwards. Like, hey, look, I can whoop his behind, but it's okay. He is my master. So I'll honor what he says. This is fantastic for both of us, man.
Hey, look, I have to wait for the recalls. I have to wait for the
don't be scary.
The Generation 3, Generation 4. And when I do get it, it will be a refurbished model. It's gonna be refurbished. Got to get it on discount.
Trash anyway. You gonna get the refurbished and be in trouble. Gonna be all kind of issues with that, man. And I don't want no robot that's been in somebody else's house learning bad lessons anyway, man. I gotta get the robot, and he got an accent I don't understand because he come from somebody else's house.
Hey, look, if you get a used robot, you got to have the history of the robot.
Yeah, give me the AI technology is updating this thing, man. So it's you don't know what the other person that had that robot doing, man. I'm gonna walk in my room and the robot will be doggy on the bed. It's like, man, this was Sean Combs' robot. I ain't got time for that, man.
Would you like the baby oil, sir? Would you like for me to get the oil? No. This is not what you're here for.
You're not here for that, man. Put the WD-40 down, man. We cool, man. Like, you ain't got to live like
so
that.
You know what? You know what I thought about with these robots too? That came to mind. So I mentioned talking about like Frankenstein, right? Frankenstein's monster, all of that good stuff, but not necessarily on the monster part, but more so on the humanistic portion of it. Imagine people getting these robots and being able to upload. You know how like you're already able to take somebody's voice, programming your robot to speak as, say, a loved one who's passed on. Do you think that's something that people will probably end up doing with these things? Like, okay, I have enough voice of my whoever. I don't want to put any names out there. I don't believe in what's that? Not bad luck.
Somebody's big mama. We'll just say that.
Yeah,
Somebody's big
somebody's
mama.
big mama who's maybe passed on, and you have enough
You got
recording of their
voicemail or
voice to
something. You don't need but 5 seconds. So,
yeah, to program it, and then now you can program it for that person to speak to you through that robot.
yeah,
That would be crazy.
be
Like
crazy.
my mind went to that portion of it, like of how we might start to recreate the people of our lives and never lose them. That would be
They
insane.
already can do that though.
In a sense, but not in a robot form. Something that's going to be walking and talking.
Yeah, but we still
Sit down on your bed and have a conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? Like sitting there actually having a conversation with them.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, you know, it'll probably be somebody to do that. My brain says that's creepy, but I think a lot of people is creepy enough to do it. There'll be people to say,
yeah, no, I think so too. But I can see that happening. I can see that happening. Like more, not necessarily in the immediate future, but who knows? Because technology is moving so fast that they might get to this real soon. But I can see people using it as that type of deal.
Yeah, possibly. And probably if not that, I mean, they'll probably be able to do it in some type of virtual manner anyway. Because all you need is a picture and you already got the AI with their voice.
Oh, and then you got the AI with the movements too. You can AI a person. You see like the that you take a picture and you make this picture dance. You seen those things?
Yeah, I've seen it. So they'll be able to animate your loved ones, and then if you got the access to their voice, you can recreate your loved ones with whatever message you want to hear from them. That's all coming, bro. That's like tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you ain't got to worry about that. Like, you know.
But that's more holographic. That's more on your computer screen or in your.
That's more realistic than whatever. But look, bro, that's more realistic than a robot. Them robots look like robots. You know what I'm saying?
Now when they start putting skin on it, now when they start using their Rick Ross mask.
I know. When they put that Rick Ross mask on it, I'm gonna be satisfied, man, because I already know what I'm gonna turn mine into.
You don't think they're gonna start putting skin on these things?
Yeah,
whatever face you want to put on
skin on it.
Hey, make this face. Boom. On the robot. Put some skin on it. Give it the voice. Now you got that person living back in your house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Walking and talking.
Mine look like Leonardo DiCaprio from Django. That's who my robot gonna look like. Candy, whatever his name is. I'm gonna turn that into my robot, man. Like I don't want my robot walking around looking like a robot. I want a creepy looking human in mine, man. That's what I expect. I'm all in on this, bro. I'm telling you, man.
Keep my robot robotic. I need some separation. Separation.
I'm about to get some vengeance for the ancestors with my robot, bro.
Hey boy, look.
Hey boy, get in here and make my grits.
Yes, master.
Hey, that's a joke, y'all. That's a joke, man. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, we about to get canceled for that one. Anyhow. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's an interesting future to see. And I'm of the mindset to believe, hey, look, if they've already rolled out these displays and demonstrations and whatnot, that it's on the horizon, on the immediate horizon. And by immediate, I mean like the next year or two, that it's going to be a commonplace thing. We are there.
Oh, yeah. But this is the interesting thing, bro. When robots become a commonplace thing in your home, at that point, expect it to be a commonplace thing within your places that you shop and do business also. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say people are in
because here's the thing.
Jobs.
You mentioned something a minute ago that brought something to my my recollection, right? So I was in CVS the other day, and there was one worker in the whole CVS. Mm-hmm. One worker in the whole CVS. And that worker was just doing this, right? They look up at you. You bring your stuff up. They doing this. Yeah, you can go to self-checkout number 2. Like, what are you there for?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that I can't take that and replace that with a robot who's going to be able to direct people towards whatever self-checkout line or whatever? It's like
you could replace it with a spy.
We don't need human help for a lot of these things anymore.
Yeah, replace him with a sign, just a big red sign and an arrow,
Replace
a
him with
white
a
arrow.
sign.
Yeah, he's unnecessary. Like the reason, see, all CVS needs to do is to get that technology that Amazon stores got. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
really, they have it in what is it,
Mhm.
NCF, NFC, uh,
NFC, yeah.
yeah, the NFC technology, and they good. You know what I'm saying? Like, make us all log into our CVS store. I mean, our CVS app with our card already up there, and you can't walk into the store unless you scan. You know what I'm saying? And boom, they good to go, man. Get rid of
Oh,
that one.
matter of fact, a lot of these stores are doing this to where you get this app on your phone and it's attached to your bank account, and all you got to do is scan it, put it in the bag, and walk out.
That's what I'm getting at. That.
That okay. Because I know the Amazon, they have the cart. You put it in the cart and whatever, or you go by, you pay with your palm. But yeah, so so Amazon, the Amazon store, because I haven't been in an Amazon store since they spooked me out with the pay with your palm.
So, well, yeah, I was getting at just to scan. I mean, you just scan it and go. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
once
yeah.
they recognize that you have
Oh,
it in possession.
matter of
Just
fact, I've been in
the
this
receipt.
situation to where you don't even scan anything. So it was at this sports complex, and my son had a basketball game there. They had a little concession area. You just walk in, you grab what you want, and then you walk out, and it charges you. You don't have to scan it or nothing. The store knows what you took.
Yeah,
and it charges you.
That's really the exact technology I was talking about. That exists already.
It exists
CVS
already.
is a big enough
That
company
was
to do it. They
wow.
just need to implement it. Like,
yeah. I'm
and
like,
get
I
rid
just
of that
pick it up, I
liability you
walk
got
out, and
at the
it
front
charges
desk.
me. Like, how does it know what and how does it know the
Barcode.
difference between me and this person I'm standing next to that's going to charge me and not them, or vice versa? But that joint was
Because all
exact.
your information is scanned, your facial and all of that, man. From just riding around, walking through your neighborhood is why they already know exactly who you are. You know what I'm saying? They got all this facial recognition software that exists in stoplights around different cities and stuff like that. Like,
Man, that's one thing I didn't want to get into, like Snapchat and stuff. Like when Snapchat first came out, it wouldn't put no filter on me. I ain't doing no kind of filter. Like I didn't see y'all made all these videos with these filters. Nah, man. But guess what?
Yeah.
It's unavoidable now. They got your face. They got your face. Ain't no such thing as no face, no case. They got your face.
Right. The government's using that stuff, man. In cities, your local cities are using that stuff, man. It's here in Georgia. Like, I know places, rural areas is using it. So I know that actual big cities are using it. Like, it's what it is. Now, I can't call what that technology is by name off the top of my head, but I'm familiar with it. Hey, man, as soon as we got 5 to 10 years before all of that's the norm. You know what I'm saying? Like, they trying to be polite to us. They're being benevolent by not getting rid of us.
They're gonna give us some time to acclimate.
Yeah.
You know, why don't we just replace our president with the robot instead of having this presidential election? Let's just get a robot. Just get a robot. Give them all the intelligence of decision making, and let's just get a robot.
Yeah. I mean, eventually the president could very well become AI. You know what I'm saying? And that sounds far-fetched, but I mean, who's gonna make the better decision if you give it an algorithm of all scenarios and how to play out? You know what I'm saying? Like, everything's moving towards numbers anyway. I can't watch a sport without it being based around the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Efficiency numbers. So why wouldn't I let the computers make the decisions anyway? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what? You remember what was the joint? Wizard of Oz. And the Wizard of Oz was this. Of course, we found out later behind the scenes it was some little scrawny man who was being big and bad or whatever.
Yeah, moving knobs and all that.
Yeah, but that could be a play into the future of how leadership might be. Instead of it being a man with the knobs, it's controlled by AI, and we create this figure who's the Wizard of Oz, who's giving us the rundown of how to run the country.
Yeah, all of it's possible. I think they should test that.
I just gave Elon an idea.
A new thing. They need to test that in the court system. I would like to see that implemented in the
judge. Wow.
The judge,
an AI judge. Yeah. Give them all the scenarios, all the details. let the whole court system play out instead of a jury deciding, instead of having a judge. You run all the information to this AI, and the AI comes down with the judgment.
Why not?
Guilty, not guilty, how many years, this or that, whatever. Based on
take all the
this
emotion out of
information.
it anyway, because it's not about emotion. So you should never win a case based on how you emotionally feel. It's supposed to be about reasonable doubt and actual evidence. You know what I'm saying?
Which a lot of it is emotional. Like you get the jury, and the jury's gonna decide a lot of times based on, you can't take human factor out of it, even though they're not supposed to. There's still human factor in it, and even though judges aren't supposed to do their ruling based on whatever, but we see it. We see judges making rulings because they have certain kind of biases, certain kind of prejudices, and whatever have you.
Yeah, lenient sentences because of that. Nah, man, let's just look at the facts, man. Let's take everything out of it. And I say the judges are the first to go. You know, get rid of that big salary. I don't. If you watch the show and your uncle's a judge, I'm sorry. Get him out of here, man. Technology's ready to replace that, man.
Technology is going to replace everything.
Because people abuse their power.
Uber drivers, y'all are done. Taxi drivers, y'all are done. We got autonomous driving vehicles. Workers who work at Wendy's. Sorry, McDonald's.
Get them out of here, man. Get these
y'all are gone. CVS workers. Hey, we can keep the workers at Target at your Target.
Yeah, specifically my Target. They can all stay. But yeah, man. Hey, man, the future's bright, man. I'm excited as a consumer for the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the economy's about to be suffering for a while to everybody figure it out. But I'm excited for the future as far as getting some good service. It's bright.
Yeah, I'm in the middle. I'm not super excited. I'm not super nervous or scared, but I am a little concerned. That's where I am at with where we are with the technology and Elon's new inventions and all the other inventions that are
you plan on being retired before any of this reaches your field, you know. So that's why you were like kind of in the middle.
I hope so. I mean, yes, can machines and robots take over the military? Yeah, that's something that probably will come down because we're already, and I don't want to go further too deep into the show, but even way we are preparing for wars going forward, we're thinking a lot about technology. Like the war and the landscape of war is not going to look like how it looked in Afghanistan and Vietnam. We're looking at
rolling around in the dirt like this. That's done, bro.
We're done with that. We're done with that. That is something that we have been talking about at length over the last few years. And a lot of these meetings that I go to, a lot of these briefs that I go to, that our landscape of war is looking different. We worry more so about machinery, drones, things of that nature that we have to be concerned about more so than seeing somebody in the whites of their eyes and bang.
Whites of the eyes day is done. Like
done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Done. No, we are sending drones to somebody. Oh, there's a platoon of whatever over here, an element-sized platoon over here, over there. Boom, boom. Sending drones to you to blow you up. That's how they're fighting wars now. They're fighting wars at distance. More so than before. I wouldn't be surprised. We thought we were fighting at distance before. We're fighting at distance more so now than ever.
Bro, with some of the technology I hear that they working on with weather, I wouldn't be shocked if weather's not weaponized at some point. When you can really throw a stone and hide your hand. Like a hurricane just hit Iraq. Oh, when did they get a category? That's crazy. Category 8 hurricane in Iraq. When did that happen? Like,
I didn't even know they made 8. Flooded. Flooded. You heard about? I mean, like even like with the flood in Dubai, they said that was weather control. Yeah, suspicion, weather control, and it got out of hand. Somebody got the calibration wrong. I heard it. And it flooded. Anyhow, but yeah, that's where we are. And let's get ready to get out of here, though, man. We can go into the weeds with this. We can keep going into the weeds with this all day, honestly. For y'all who don't know, we are I would say older school technology buffs of some sort. So this stuff does intrigue myself, and I'm sure you as well. It's just the fact that it's changing for me as far as like how deep into this technology. Like I'm trying to relearn where we're going with technology. But you go back, we were deep into the weeds when it came to technology. But now it's changing so fast. We're playing catch up, and now I'm getting re-engaged with it now. As I'm starting to catch up to understanding how this technology is working and working for us and against us, or the potential of it to work against us or for us.
Right. Well, shoot, man. I'm gonna go ahead and kick off the reviews, man, so we don't run too long. For me, this week I had the Arturo Fuente. I had the what's the thing called again? Chateau Fuente. I didn't even see that. Okay, I had the Chateau Fuente King. Is what I had. Boom. I'll show you how far I got into that.
Oh, what's that? Was that the tube it came in?
Yeah, this is the tube it came in right here.
Oh wow. Okay, nice. I like that tube.
Yeah, this was a fly little tube, man. Oh man, it's a booby on the tube. I see nip and everything.
Since I say nip.
That's incredible. Arturo, way to go. Yeah, like it's little small nip, you know what I'm saying? It's small nip. It ain't got the big plate areola on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but now you went ahead and said it. But
hey, but it's the end of the show, man. It'll pass. So anyway, particular cigar is it's still a pretty light to medium cigar, you know, more on the mild side of things. Picked up on some cedar notes. Like I said earlier, it's something that came through kind of like a little bit of a licorice note on it. Small amounts of oak I pick up on this stick, and on the retro hill, the subtlest of spices that I noticed, but only on retro. That's about as much as I picked up on this far into the stick. I really feel weird about giving it a rating.
Gotta do it.
I gotta do it. 1 to 5. I'm gonna go 3.8, and I really believe this is probably in the 4s legitimately. You know what I'm saying? But as of now, my score is a 3.8, just because I haven't got deep enough into it for any changes. But I think this is the type of 3.8 that's going to be like, you would want to have a few of them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is one I would revisit, which anything in the high 3s should be something you would be willing to revisit. But willing to revisit and actually revisiting may be two different things. I think this would be one I would revisit.
Okay. Shout out to Fuente, Arturo Fuente, my guy.
You know, Arturo live in the 4, so I expect this to fully be a 4, man. But you know,
for you to not give it a 4 is disrespectful. I'm just kidding.
Kind of is, you know what I'm saying? I feel obligated to do it, but I feel like I would just be giving him a 4 off the.
Yeah. I understand your reason. 3.8 still solid. Still 3.8 is completely solid. Completely solid. All right, so shout out to Arturo. Agnorsa. Well, we got the Leaf Signature Maduro. So, as I smoked it down a little bit more, here we are. That's where we are with the stick. Kind of getting into that second, third, and I did get some new notes that came or introduced itself as I smoked a little bit more. Earlier, I had that oak with some cocoa, strong cocoa, by the way. That kind of not necessarily dissipated, but kind of just, kind of melted into or blended into the other flavors that became a little bit more prominent as I smoked it. So leather came in, but a nice leather, not a leather done wrong, right? Leather done nicely. It blended well. The transition from that cocoa oak into leather, and then some pepper on the tail end. That pepper finally did creep in, but it creeped in just very fine pepper. Which made it really complex. So I like where it went. It started really simple, and sometimes we'll get to flip with some cigars. Some cigars will start out a little bit more complex and then kind of even out. This one started out smooth and even, and then became more complex as I smoked a little bit more. Like I said, with the with the fine pepper that came in, with the leather done nicely, along with that oak and cocoa. All kind of came in and just melted in together really, really well. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that transition. So I'm gonna give it a high notch for how it transitioned. Okay. High notch for that. Those transitions are important. The structure of the cigar, well constructed, really, really nice. feels good in the hand, firm, but then also has some give to it. So I can tell the cigar has been taken care of, and also rolled with some kind of care, expertise and care. Flavors are great. Aroma was nice. Like I said, one of the better aromas I've had in a while. But with that said, if I had to rate the cigar out of 5, if I had to give it out of 5, would I say it's a 4? Here's the thing. Here's where I'm torn with a 4 and a 3.9. Did it all do all the things that I like to give me a 4? Yes. All the flavors that I truly enjoy, just kind of missed the mark to give me a 4. So I'm gonna land it at a 3.9, a 3.9 plus. Let me do that, 3.9 plus, because everything that it did it right, but it just didn't hit me to that 4 range. So I'm gonna give it a 3.9. But cool. Very nice cigar.
There we go. All right, that's this week's episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. We appreciate you for tuning in this week as always. Man, keep your sticks up high. Go buy your robot. Don't sleep with it. We out.
I have my cigar like my cigar. Hey, light my
there
cigar.
You go. I'm gonna have mine. Go clip this thing.